Now you see this with Bobby Wagner. How does that actually happen with the hard cap?
Well, Aaron Donald's about to get another crazy deal. The first crazy deal was several years ago. Now this one's going to be crazier. They're going to have to address Cooper Kupp. They brought in Allen Robinson. They bring in Bobby Wagner. When you got deep pockets like an owner like Stan Kroenke, it's all about cash. And he has the cash to be able to do it. And they know that the salary cap is going to continue to go up every single year, Jay. And so they're projecting those numbers and forecasting those numbers every single year. They're saying to themselves, okay, this is the number we're going to be dealing with in 2022, 23, 24. Let's bake this in here. Let's move things around. And when you can go and renegotiate players' contracts because your owner has that cheddar, then he says, okay, I'll guarantee all that money.
Key, let's rewind for a second. NFL is a hard cap league, right? And you always say there's no salary cap, da-da-da-da. But, and you explain, you know, what you just explained, it keeps inflating. So you look forward, oh, it's going to go up so we can seemingly overpay for this guy or that guy. But what you just said, Kroenke has deep pockets, right? I think a lot of people out there listening are thinking,
everybody got deep pockets, right?
Right, they own NFL teams, right? And not only that, but you have to spend at least 90% of the cap or something like that, right? You can't go over 100, so everyone's within 10% of each other. Why do people talk about Kroenke or Jerry Jones like, oh, he has a rich owner? Wouldn't that make them all the same, basically?
No, because a lot of owners got deep cash, like they're liquid. Like Stan Kroenke is liquid. Like he can go to the bank with no problem at all, where some other owners, they got to get credit lines, and it sounds weird. Like when you think about it, you look at the landscape of the 32 owners, some of the deeper pocket guys, the Paul Allen family up in Seattle, or David Tepper in Carolina. Jerry Jones is cash rich now. And then other owners have so many partners like the Raiders. They have minority partners in there. When you look at the Giants and the Jets, it's all about the Giants and the Jets. They got cash there. When you look at the Giants and the Jets, they don't cheap out on paying players. They go out in free agency. If there's somebody there, they get it and do it.
Can you explain? Oh, okay. We're going to get into this a little bit later in the show. It's very interesting. But okay, Key, can you explain why cash is king, right? When you fully guarantee
up
money,
front, right? That's
what happens? What happens? Like they have to put it in escrow immediately, the whole amount?
Well, it just depends on how they want to do it. So, for instance, when you look at Deshaun Watson's deal, $230-something million of guaranteed money, that particular money may go into an escrow account for a number of reasons. They may do that because they're guaranteeing it, there's insurance backing it, but it also is saying that something is interesting with this contract, so we want to wait and see. Now, I'm sure in those guarantees there's different clauses. If things happen, that money gets taken away. A lot of the owners, though, when you look at Stephen Ross is flush enough to continue to spend big money on Tyreek Hill to be able to say, in 24 months, I'm going to give Tyreek Hill $72 million. I can do that. When other owners are not as cash flush, I remember playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Glazer family. They were not cash flush at the time because they went out and they bought the Manchester United. So my deal had to work with their cash flow in terms, and it sounds weird, but it had to work with their cash flow for them to be able to pay me my signing bonus, and I had to be okay with it to be able to do it.
Almost like financing a car, right? Oh, I want to go put this amount of money down, but I can finance it over a certain amount of years. Whereas you can say, hey, Key, I want to buy this car cash right now.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter because ain't none of them going and eating bologna anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. But it does matter for fan bases. What you're talking about matters for fan bases. If you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, of the Panthers, of who else did you mention? Of the Rams, you never have to worry about your owner not being liquid enough to put a giant number in escrow so to fully guarantee a contract. And that does make it easier to get certain players,
well,
right?
It does. And you see it like Arthur Blank, he doesn't have a problem writing that check. Daniel Snyder, for many years, never had a problem guaranteeing money and giving signing bonuses in X amount of days for present value's sake. It's just different owners do it differently depending on the structure of the ownership group.
I mean, it's interesting to me. It tells you something about certain. Like, I wonder when you see Mitch Trubisky in Pittsburgh, and the Rooney family is one of the great old, original NFL families, right? But I wonder, does that have something to do with them not having like that new Tepper money, right? Like that the kind of liquid that can let you go out and do what the Browns did, for example. Hey, they wanted Deshaun Watson. And whatever you think about whether or not Deshaun Watson should be playing given the open 22 civil cases alleging serious stuff, the fact is he is going to play at some point. And the Browns could say, okay, let's get this done. Here's $230 million fully guaranteed.
Sits in escrow. I have to put that in escrow. That's out of my account, sitting there.
That's not
while I'm paying other players on the team.
That doesn't sound like something, say, the Pittsburgh Steelers could do, even if they were so inclined. Key, right? Like they'd have to move a lot of stuff around. It sounds like.
Well, they have partners within their structure of ownership group. There's no question about it. They are the majority owner, and they've taken up some minority owners. And so every now and then, much like the Raiders, you have to go make cash calls when there's times, when you need to make big purchases, so to speak. You've got to go to some of those other deep pocket guys to have those conversations about, hey, we want to sign this guy. I need to get $150 million over the next 4 years, and each individual needs to put in a piece to make this thing happen.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.